Universe doing its best to be louder than this weekend's Indianapolis 500. The race is on to NXT TakeOver Chicago 2.
And the race continues here. It was last week that two young stars were looking to establish bragging rights for an NXT title opportunity when the humongous hominid Lars Sullivan interfered and attacked them. Tonight, Ricochet and Velveteen Dream get chance of retribution when they face Leviathan 2-on-1 in a handicap match.
We kick things off with tag team action.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Making the way to the ring at a combined weight of 650 pounds, Tucker Knight, Otis Dozovic, Heavy Machinery.
Heavy Machinery being applauded and feted by one of the voices of Monday Night Raw, man who knows his sports, Coach Jonathan Coachman, a part of the NXT Universe at Full Sail Live. Coach him up.
My guys right here. These are my guys.
And if you were to coach Heavy Machinery, what would you be telling them at this stage of their careers, Nigel?
They need to cut some weight. Look at these fellas.
I don't know about that.
Hey, they're all about steaks and weights.
These guys can move better than any big man in the company. What are you talking about?
And their opponents at a combined weight of 450 pounds, Shane Thorne, Nick Miller, TM61.
In the eyes of some members of the NXT Universe, TM61 has some splaining to do, Nigel.
Well, I suppose you're referring to Heavy Machinery when you say that. The reason this match came into being was because Heavy Machinery took umbrage, arguably, to the way that TM61 beat the Street Profits recently.
I mean, it definitely wasn't fair. TM61 pulled the fast one of the Street Profits.
Well, I would dare to say that they just did what the Street Profits would have done if they'd had the opportunity.
I highly doubt that. The Street Profits are not those kind of guys, man. They're straight up by the book. And honestly, frankly, I thought the Mighty were too.
TM61. Shane Thorne, Nick Miller getting set to battle Otis Dozovic and Tucker Knight. Again, an opportunity to move up the proverbial ladder rung in the NXT Tag Team division, currently controlled by the Undisputed Era. And
Thorne, clearly the quicker of the two.
low center of gravity for Dozovic.
He grabbed an arm on the way through.
Dozer doing his own commentary. Tag made, in comes Tucker Knight. And Heavy Machinery bringing the heavy artillery to one half of TM61, Shane Thorne. Cover by Knight. Thorne able to escape.
Tucker Knight now obviously looking to follow up on that greatest Royal Rumble attempt that he had in April in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
What a feather in his cap. Part of the greatest Rumble ever. And that was a very impressive looking hip toss by Tucker Knight. Comes off the ropes. Corner avalanche on Nick Miller. And Heavy Machinery using size to its advantage. Mr. McGinnis, like right there.
Knocking Shane Thorne right off of his feet. I mean, when he's 6 feet tall, 330 pounds, man, low center of gravity, man. You can knock anyone off their feet when you move as fast as Otis Dozovic.
And two incredible athletes. Impressive pedigrees. Now they're about to use Shane Thorne as a lawn dart. Maybe a battering ram. Heavy Machinery about to introduce Shane Thorne to his tag team partner, Nick Miller, in the most unceremonious fashion. Heavy Machinery dominating TM61 and enjoying every second of it. Knight drives Miller's head into the top turnbuckle.
Fellas, and you can just see the confidence building in this team Heavy Machinery. I'm telling you, if these guys keep up this progression, it's just a matter of time before they're fighting for the titles.
Two guys who are intent on mixing business with pleasure. And Tucker Knight drives Miller's head into the turnbuckle.
Heavy Machinery having fun thus far, but it's about wins and losses.
Miller was looking for the O'Connor roll waist lock, but Knight didn't see the tag was made. Here comes Thorne and a vicious European uppercut to the jaw of Tucker Knight, and Thorne avoids disaster. He almost ran into Dozovic.
I don't care how big you are. When you don't see an elbow coming to the jaw, man, you're going down.
And it was all legal. The legal tag was made, and Thorne lighting up Tucker Knight.
That's right, there can be no complaints if TM61 eked out the win here. Nice tandem offense. Quick tags we'll see in and out. These guys have teamed together for many, many years.
Definitely seen an attitude change in TM61 as well since Shane Thorne got back. These guys realized, man, how precious this time is. They want to continue to establish their dominance and show the world why they're here.
They were riding a wave of momentum, made it to the finals of the first NXT Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and then the injury. And now TM61 trying to make up for lost time and working like the well-oiled machine that the duo from Down Under is.
Well, they had the toughest draw in the most recent Dusty Classic against the AOP, a rematch of the final of the last one, and you've got to understand why they want to get back into title contention as soon as possible.
I believe there may even be an iota of frustration at the fact that, despite being gone on the sidelines, that maybe the NXT Universe forgot about the person. It's Tucker Knight.
That's what I mean in terms of survival. These guys don't want to get forgotten about. It's all about positioning. It's all about opportunity.
Well, TM61 doing a good job here. Quick tags, but Miller unable to lift. Oh, rabbit lariat by Shane Thorne.
Skipped off the back of the shoulders. Knight went down hard.
The patience of Shane Thorne. You don't want to give Tucker Knight too much time to recover.
Why is he trying for the suplex again? No way he's going to move the bigger man.
Oh, but he moved him with that wind-up European uppercut. And again, the tag made. In comes Miller and Thorne. Wow, what a show of strength by Tucker Knight.
I think Otis like that.
But Knight suplexing his opponents between himself and his partner. So he's got to get past two men now to make that tag.
And Tucker Knight rolls into the friendly confines of his corner, Dozovic, bulldozing his way over both Miller and Thorne.
Look at the speed.
A runaway freight train. Big scoop and a body slam with authority.
Well, momentum is speed times mass, and that's a lot of mass.
This is where Dozer has his fun with the caterpillar. And the big elbow drop across the chest. Oh! Shane Thorne able to save Nick Miller just in the nick of time, but eats a right hand from Knight for his efforts, and another one. Seesaw affair in the NXT Tag Team Division. Double armbar, overhead belly-to-belly throw by Knight.
Well, Thorne's in trouble. Oh, I spoke too soon. Great evasion.
Knight crashes and burns to the outside.
Beautiful exploder suplex. The big Dozer on fire.
And Dozer explodes back to his feet. As Miller in a supine position from the second turnbuckle.
This is not what Nick Miller wants to be.
Dozovic was tallying up. Oh, and that momentary lapse in concentration may have cost him here as again Miller with his foot on the ropes now, and TM61 steals another one.
Your winner, TM61.
Who says lightning doesn't strike twice? A moment of genius. And unfortunately, fellas, I've got to call it the way I see it. It was a mistake from Gozovic. He was on the top rope. He had all the opportunity in the world, and instead he decided to wipe himself down. And boy, did the Aussies make him pay.
Don't be blaming those things, man. They just, heavy machinery just got cheated. TM61 just stole another one.
Lap it up, Percy. A win is a win is a win. Let's take another look at that if we can. It was a thing of beauty. Take a look, as I said, took way too long. And then it was Thorne on the outside who made all the difference. A deep pinfall, tried to use some leverage.
Look at the back of screen. Shane Thorne helping Nick Miller out. Holding his feet on the rope.
Well, Thorne is becoming a thorn in the side of his opponents as Thorne and Miller pick up the victory as they vanquish heavy machinery in dubious fashion. Hello there, Mauro Ranallo along with Nigel McGuinness and Percy Watson, and TM61 steals another one.
Well, say what you want about how they did it. That's 2 victories in 2 weeks. If this continues, I think they could be in title contention.
Look, not saying that I agree with it, but I understand that when you're trying to stack up wins, do what you got to do.
Well, one thing we can all agree on is Bianca Belair, one of the fastest rising stars in NXT. There's a recent sit-down interview with the EST of NXT.
I'm on my own, against the wall.
Why is Bianca Belair the fastest rising star in NXT?
Instead of crying, they hear me roar.
Why do I have the brightest future in the entire women's division? Why do I take advantage of every opportunity?
Watch me shine now. Watch me shine now.
Do you even realize the significance of my roots?
The pressure's building, but no, I will never fall.
Why am I the EST of NXT? Well, you'll find out next week.
I never needed you at all.
One of the fastest rising stars in the women's division, Bianca Belair, continues to make an impact here on NXT. And next week, we'll take an in-depth look at the EST of NXT.
Feeling kind of magical, yo.
Is back.
I want to go back to Camp WWE.
In season.
Woo!
Hey, Sinan.
It's crazier.
These kids are idiots.
Nuttier.
The campers are sticking their junk in the pool jets.
I live here now.
And wilder
Oops.
than ever.
You look ridiculous.
Oh, this place.
It's a new season of the adult animated series, Camp WWE. Watch anytime on demand, with new episodes every Sunday, only on WWE Network.
I am the top 1% of this industry.
EC3 equals the formula for success.
EC3. EC3's third match, the trilogy. And you can already see the top 1% mindset taking effect.
Top 1%!
The NXT universe becomes the NX3 universe.
EC3 changing the game.
Fans will be holding signs. People will be dancing and singing in the aisles as NXT becomes NX3. That is because I am the best here, the best there, the best anywhere. I am NXT's golden goose, and if I can get all of that done in just 3 matches, imagine what I can do in 4. I am EC3.
Well, I cannot wait to see EC3 come back and dig his teeth into the competition in NXT.
Or NX3 in his case.
The following contest is a women's division match scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Yamaguchi, Japan, Kairi Sane.
The Pirate Princess Kairi Sane has achieved myriad accolades in her career, including winning the inaugural Mae Young Classic. And while she always endears herself to the NXT universe, she told us she is more focused than she has been in a long time on trying to get to know and understand people like Lacey Evans.
Well, Onna Kaizoku, as she's referred to in Japan, took umbrage to the way that, quite simply, Lacey Evans came out and punched her in the face.
That's just cold-blooded. After Kairi's match, Lacey Evans comes out to apologize and congratulate her, let her know how great of an in-ring superstar she is, and then she punches her in the mouth. That's cold-blooded.
Kairi Sane tweeted, "Lacey, you were a Marine and now you're a great mother. Why does someone so gentle suddenly attack me so coldly? This isn't you, Lacey. Can't you be gentle? Well then, I will give the same love back to you."
I got the feeling there'll be nothing gentle about Kairi Sane here tonight.
And her opponent from Parris Island, South Carolina, Lacey Evans.
It was in the Big Easy, New Orleans, that Lacey Evans acquitted herself very well, putting up a valiant effort before she was defeated by Kairi Sane. And then, more recently, it appeared that Evans wanted to apologize to Kairi Sane. Instead, she landed a sucker punch she has christened a woman's right.
Still maintains all the class and dignity of a lady. And you watch once that bell rings.
Nah, I don't think there's any class left in Lacey Evans. That's just my personal
An
opinion.
explosive start by Sane with the drop kick on Evans, and I was thinking we'd see a much more aggressive Kairi Sane in lieu of the way she's been treated by the so-called lady of NXT.
Lacey Evans giving it right back to her, though.
Let's go off the rope. Come on.
A shot right across the bow to kick off this matchup.
3, 4. Hey, it's enough.
Talk about shots fired.
Drove the wind out of her sails.
Go behind by Kairi Sane in the waist lock. Whoa, wait a minute. Darn, I missed that. Japanese class, but I have a feeling that Kairi Sane is doing her own form of trash talking on Lacey Evans. Oh! Covered by Sane.
Hey, fellas, a part of you might think that Lacey Evans might just be a little bit jealous of Kairi Sane with all the accomplishments that she has. I mean, she doesn't get the same type of love from the NXT universe that Kairi Sane does.
She doesn't need it. She doesn't have a jealous bow in her body.
Oh, heel kick by Evans.
Nearly broke a bone in Kane's body.
Come on, right to the knee of Kairi Sane.
An adjustment made by Lacey Evans. A cover. And Sane kicks out at 2. Now a Cobra clutch employed by Evans. Trash talking Kairi Sane. And there's so much to admire about Evans. The U.S. Marine.
We can take another look at that. Wham! That arm stomp on the ropes there. More damage.
Look at Lacey Evans just ragdolling Kairi Sane. So smart, trying to keep her grounded.
Evans trying to utilize her size advantage, and now skyscraper knee to the arm of Kairi Sane. And of course, Evans doing her homework, as Sane known for utilizing her arms in devastating fashion with the insane elbow, the sliding D, and the flying kabuki elbow.
She may look beautiful, she is beautiful, but she's smart as well. Wham! Again.
Hyper aggressive.
Come on, let's go. Out of the corner.
Referee imploring Evans to get out of the corner. Now Evans using the top rope for added leverage.
Lacey Evans trying to separate the shoulder of Kairi Sane.
I love this aggressive side of Evans.
Evans would love to separate the NXT Women's Champion from the title. Bronco Buster by Lacey Evans. And again, just as she did in New Orleans, acquitting herself well against one of the best female sports entertainers on the planet, and Evans almost put Sane away.
With all of Sane's experience, her accolades, as you mentioned, Mara, winner of the Mae Young Classic, you'd have to say perhaps the Pirate Princess is a favorite in this match, but thus far, Evans has really taken the lion's share of the offense.
Evans subjecting Kairi Sane with his torturous eyes. NXT Universe trying to rally the Pirate Princess, who fires off a knee and just misses with that kick. Oh, and she caught that kick. Thought she was going for the Dragon Screw leg whip. Instead, running blockbuster by Kairi Sane. Axe kick to the back by the Pirate Princess.
Got all of that.
That'll slow Lacey down. That heel to boot right to the spine.
Interceptor! Sane spearing Lacey Evans in a fortuitous position for Kairi Sane, who has had enough of Lacey Evans.
This is where Sane is most dangerous, when she can string a few moves together.
Oh boy.
Here comes a big one.
Primal Scream! Sliding D! And Lacey Evans, her eyes are glazed. She rolls out of the ring to buy herself some time.
Well done, Lacey. What a smart move from this young woman.
Oh, insane! Launches herself from the stairs with a flying kabuki elbow into the lower back of Lacey Evans, referee administering the 10 count.
Kairi Sane calling for it. She's looking for that elbow.
Evans struggling to get to her feet. Sane in the top turnbuckle. Oh! A woman's right. Did you hear the impact? Mamma mia!
Oh!
Here's your winners, Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans with by far the biggest victory of her embryonic career. And what timing with a woman's right that spells good night for Kairi Sane.
I mean,
wow.
Completely out of nowhere. Hey, Lacey Evans is a warrior. She is a Marine, and she
Can we
obviously
talk
has that
about
kind of
the
toughness.
right hand, Nigel? The impact, the timing.
Let's take a look here. Kairi Sane down the path in the home straight. Hit that sliding D in the corner. And most of us watching this match thought at this point it would all be over. Continuing the offense here.
This is the closing moments right here. Kairi Sane thought she had this thing wrapped up, but out of absolutely nowhere, the woman's right to the jaw of Kairi Sane. Huge victory here tonight for Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans evening the score with Kairi Sane. It's now 1 apiece. I wouldn't mind seeing a rubber match between Kairi Sane and the victorious lady of NXT, Lacey Evans.
Switching gears, let's go now to our broadcast colleague, Kathy Kelly, who is standing by outside Full Sail University.
Thanks, guys. I am currently outside of Full Sail University, hoping to get a word in with Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. I got a tip that they're here. Follow me, guys. Johnny, Candice, I was hoping to get a word before you headed in. First off, how is your neck?
I've seen better days, but I'm here. We sat down and we discussed the future. And we came to a decision as a team. And I'd love to tell you, Kathy, but I want to go out there and tell them. Something I have to do. And I may not want to do it, but it has to be done.
Well, I cannot wait to hear what Johnny Gargano has to say later tonight. But up next, Ricochet and Velveteen Dream get a chance for retribution against the man who interrupted their match last week and left them both laying when they take on the humongous Hominid 2-on-1 in a handicap match. And that match is next.
UK, your favorite United Kingdom Championship and NXT superstars are headed your way for an unforgettable two-night event at London's iconic Royal Albert Hall on the 18th and 19th of June. On night one, see an electric United Kingdom Championship tournament, plus Pete Dunne and Mustache Mountain face off against Undisputed Era in a six-man tag team match. On night two, every NXT championship will be on the line, and the tournament winner will get his opportunity at the United Kingdom Championship. Talent subject to change.
Welcome back to Full Sail University, and tonight NXT is powered by Tap Out Men's Body Sprays, now available in the fragrance aisle at Walmart.
Well, it was last week on NXT television in a six-man tag team match between the Undisputed Era, Dunne, Birch, and Lorcan, which would come down to the two tag teams of the match, trading off in the center of the ring. Ultimately, however, it would be a miscue between the Undisputed Era that would lead to an opportunity that Birch and Lorcan readily took when they hooked up one half of the tag team champions, hit the Impact DDT, hooked a leg, and with that 3 count, Birch and Lorcan made a huge statement to the Undisputed Era, to the tag team division, with TakeOver Chicago rapidly approaching.
Danny, Oni, you guys just pinned the tag team champions. How are you feeling?
You know what we're feeling? We feel like we earned our right to be #1 contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championship.
100%. As you said, we just beat them. So we'll beat them once. We'll beat them a second time. And we'll take their tag team titles off of them.
Fellas, last week, Oni Lorcan, Danny Birch, and Pete Dunne became the 3 luckiest men on the planet. I mean, you can dress this up any way you want, boys, but last week was a fluke, and everybody knows how. But you know what the funniest part about last week was? Is that these 3 chumps are gonna hang their hats on this victory for the rest of their pathetic careers.
Adam, that is so true. And fellas, you guys know they are not contenders. And there is no way they should be facing the tag team champions at TakeOver Chicago. No.
Guys, you know this is essentially all Peter Dune's fault,
It is.
right?
It is.
I mean,
Yeah.
giving false hope to a couple of nobodies. Who does he think he is? I didn't even know who Oni Lorcan was until last week. To be fair, I didn't either. Who is he?
Nor should you.
Who is
I'm
he?
watching this thing last week, I'm thinking to myself, who are these losers?
It's
a good question. It almost doesn't matter, because the charade, when that comes to an end, in Chicago. I cannot wait until Chicago. But you guys know, I have no patience.
You don't at all.
I wait for no man.
Nope.
That is why I want Mr. Number 2 himself, Daniel Birch.
I get it.
When I get him in the ring, I'm gonna show him, just like Adam said, last week was a fluke, and those guys are way out of their league.
Roddy, that's not just a fact. That, boys and girls, is undisputed.
The bowling contest is a 2-on-1 handicap match scheduled for 1 fall. Making his way to the ring from the Rocky Mountains, weighing 303 pounds, Lars Sullivan.
Lars Sullivan has been on a Rocky Mountain rampage since coming to NXT, and his rampage, well, it cut a swath of destruction through what was a much anticipated matchup between Velveteen Dream and a Ricochet. Sullivan making it clear he wants next at the NXT Championship.
He'll go to no win to make sure the path is clear. Look at this man. He is a walking piece of granite.
Sullivan interfered in the match between Ricochet and Velveteen Dream, and so William Regal came to him. He said, you want to interfere in a match with them so much, you want to match with them so much, I'll give you a match, 2-on-1 handicap.
The sinister silhouette, a man who casts an ominous shadow.
He doesn't look concerned.
You gotta think back to the first time we saw Lars Sullivan on NXT TV. He defeated 3 men at once.
Well, he'll have to defeat 2 of the best here tonight.
His opponent, first from Virginia, Kentucky, weighing in 190 pounds, Ricochet!
NXT Skywalker Ricochet. Sky is the limit for this preeminent high flyer, but he must face one of the most ominous opponents of his career in Lars Sullivan. He's not alone tonight, Percy.
Not at all. He has the Velveteen Dream at his side. These two are going to have to put aside their differences if they want to topple the freak Lars Sullivan.
I think arguably that's the bigger test for Ricochet. Not so much facing Lars Sullivan, but can he team with Velveteen Dream? A man who's been very clear. These guys do not get along.
Velveteen Dream.
And his partner, from Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C., weighing in at 227 pounds, the Velveteen Dream!
The vainglorious Velveteen Dream, a man who drops elbows as effectively as Ray Schreiber drops sports entertainment references in their music, but the only music to Velveteen Dream's ears is when he hears his name.
Well, there'll be a great symphony played if he ever gets to wear the NXT title around his waist, but to do that, he has to get by the Leviathan Lars Sullivan.
An tenuous alliance, to say the least. The enemy of my enemy is my so-called friend Percy. Velveteen Dream and Ricochet can barely share the spotlight. We wonder how they will work as a tandem against the monster Lars Sullivan.
Better find a way to figure it out.
Velveteen Dream there, clearly trying to get inside the head of Lars Sullivan. What a place I'd like to be.
Again, all 3 vying for an opportunity at becoming the next challenger for NXT champion Aleister Black. A handicap match. And Velveteen Dream and Ricochet begrudgingly fist bump.
And look, there's no guarantees for the winner of this match, but you got to think General Manager William Regal will keep that in mind, especially with 3 great superstars with such great abilities in the ring right now for whoever turns out to be the victor.
All 3 superstars survived the bone-crushing ladder match, but can Velveteen Dream survive the strength of Lars Sullivan?
I'll tell you what, if Lars Sullivan gets through both of these, he is my pick to get the next title opportunity against Aleister Black, that's for sure.
All 3 NXT superstars eyeing the prize in Ricochet. Elbow with Lars Sullivan, and Ricochet gets planted face first on a simple break from a collar and elbow tie-up, Nigel.
That is insane strength.
These two are going to have to stay beyond arm's reach of Lars Sullivan. Utilize their speed.
Ricochet and Velveteen Dream forming an alliance.
Here we go.
Dream and Ricochet beginning to unload on Lars Sullivan. 2-on-1. Double drop kick and Sullivan still standing.
Stretching the referee's 5 count, using it to the most. The count. Oh, look at this.
Springboard missile drop kick by Ricochet on Sullivan. Dream looking to take advantage of the opportunity, and he gets launched by Sullivan. Oh, double axe handle from the top turnbuckle by Velveteen Dream, and he just wants to take opportunity wherever it comes here, Nigel, just trying to beat down Lars Sullivan with these series of sky-high double axe handles.
3 in a row, make it. There's a tag again.
And yet Sullivan is still standing.
You got to do non-stop offense. Don't stop. Pedal to the metal.
And I must say, impressed at the teamwork of Velveteen Dream and Ricochet. Lighting up Lars Sullivan in the corner.
Sullivan groggy, barely able to stand. Perhaps that corner just holding him up at this point.
Wow. And yet still has the power to push off Ricochet. Catches Ricochet in the grips. Those frying pan-sized hands and just launches Ricochet back first into the corner. Hex kick by Ricochet breaks the grip.
Nice athleticism, but look where he drop kicked him into his own corner. That's smart. Quick tag.
But Lars Sullivan a step ahead. Rear elbow to Velveteen Dream. Had Ricochet up on his shoulder.
Oh my goodness.
Busted through both of them. Oh, running knee lift by Dream.
Holds him there.
A super kick by the Velveteen Dream and Lars Sullivan. Oh, finally, Lars Sullivan dropped by both Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. The double cover, and Sullivan still escapes.
Kicking out with nearly 500 pounds across his chest.
How strong is Lars Sullivan?
I mean, just look at this guy. I mean, with that, he's almost impossible to stop.
It's like he's impervious to this brutal assault by both Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. And they still can't get Sullivan up.
This hulking individual is absolutely incredible. He's taking everything they have.
Oh, what a lethal lariat!
Wow!
As Lars Sullivan almost took Velveteen Dream's head off the rest of his body. And Lars Sullivan somehow has managed to withstand the assault of not one but 2 NXT superstars simultaneously in this handicap match.
I mean, we talk about Lars Sullivan and his freakish power, but just to throw Velveteen Dream halfway across the ring, oh man.
And you would have had to have said Velveteen Dream, Ricochet, credible title contenders.
Lars Sullivan, despite the odds, continues to deliver a brutal onslaught on Velveteen Dream. And Ricochet as the boulder-sized deltoid driven right into the midsection of Velveteen Dream. And even Ricochet's wondering, what did he get himself into in this handicap match with Lars Sullivan?
Anybody who gets in the ring with Lars Sullivan pretty soon regrets it.
And it's not just the strength, the power, it is the athleticism and the ring IQ as Sullivan almost put Dream down for the count.
Yeah, you're right. People tend to forget about that. They always see the monstrosity, the big physique of Lars Sullivan, but he has the intelligence to beat you.
That's what makes him truly scary. Cross faces by Sullivan on Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream and Ricochet are going to have to go back to the drawing board tonight. Big man is just having his way.
Velveteen Dream enjoys having his name said with those cross faces from Sullivan. He'll be lucky if he can say anything with his jaw wired shut, Nigel.
Maybe attempting to break the jaw now with a chin bar and all that pressure, all that weight and strength of the Leviathan. Driving the forearm across the carotid artery.
Knee lift by Sullivan stops Velveteen Dream's advance, and that clubbing forearm sends Velveteen Dream crashing to the canvas.
Look at how Lars Sullivan just stalks Velveteen Dream like prey.
Sullivan drubbing Velveteen Dream, giving him a false sense of hope here, holding on to his ankle.
Absolutely monstrous. A huge cranium like the French Angel.
Power slam! And Velveteen Dream somehow manages to avoid being pinned. Talk about his fortitude.
Yeah, man, you gotta applaud Velveteen Dream. You take all that type of punishment continuously from Lars and still find a way to manage to get out of there, to kick out.
And Lars Sullivan about to go to the top rope.
Ooh,
diving headbutt by the Leviathan, Lars Sullivan. Ricochet! Precludes what appeared to be certain Sullivan victory. Ricochet seemingly baiting Lars Sullivan to chase him around the squared circle.
Sullivan expending energy.
And Sullivan captured Ricochet, trapped him. Oh, this! Papa Rainmaker by Velveteen Dream.
Smart strategy by Ricochet and Velveteen Dream.
And will that be enough to allow Velveteen Dream to make the much-needed tag? In comes Ricochet.
And the one and only is on fire. Firing in forearms. Ducks one. Nice right hand.
Got a stick and move. Here we go.
And Lars Sullivan still somehow standing.
Ricochet trying to take out the leg of the big man.
Sullivan, full head of steam, start him first to the corner. Tiger fake kick by Ricochet. Oh, diving crossbody by Velveteen Dream.
And now the numbers.
Standing shooting star press by Ricochet. Is it enough to put away Sullivan? No. Unbelievable action.
I mean, Lars Sullivan to have the ability and to have the strength still to kick out with that type of authority. What do you do to stop a man like Lars Sullivan?
Ricochet was clubbing forearm. Sullivan back to his feet. Tag was made by the Velveteen Dream. Sullivan walks into a kick. Bicycle axe kick by Ricochet.
Oh!
Tag was made!
Oh, here we go!
450 splash by Ricochet!
Sullivan is hurt!
It's incredible! What the hell? What the hell, Velveteen Dream? With a rolling Death Valley driver on his partner!
You almost screwed me! You wanna screw me? I'm gonna screw you, you hear me? You wanna screw me? You're pathetic, you don't belong here!
Obviously, Velveteen Dream must have thought that Ricochet did it on purpose when he made the tag, and yet Lars Sullivan stalking both of them, and Velveteen Dream headed for the ramp.
Ricochet is absolutely helpless. I cannot believe how this is going down.
Lars Sullivan left to pick away at the carcass of Ricochet.
Oh, not like this, no!
Freak accident! Lars Sullivan wins the handicap match.
Lars Sullivan.
But the big story coming out of this match, not only does Lars Sullivan stake his claim to an opportunity in the NXT title, but Velveteen Dream shows its true colors.
Dream screwed Ricochet, but ultimately it's another win for Lars Sullivan. He said, those that possess championship gold, consider yourselves marked for destruction. The era of destruction will begin. Let's take a look at how this match went down. They had the advantage, but Velveteen Dream didn't care. He had a point to prove. He says, you screwed me, I screwed you.
And Ricochet was just left to fend for himself, leaving Lars Sullivan to capitalize and take full advantage and pick up a huge victory in this handicap match.
Lars Sullivan intends to dominate NXT the way Man City has dominated the Premier League, and when all is said and done, you may be looking at the premier force in sports entertainment, Lars Sullivan.
And with the NXT Women's title up for grabs, will Dakota Kai be able to shake her fears and crown herself the new champion, or will Shayna Baszler continue to torment Dakota Kai and walk out of the ring still NXT Women's Champion? And our colleague, Kathy Kelly, was able to catch up with Dakota Kai to get a little insight earlier today.
Dakota Kai, next week, the biggest opportunity of your career, an NXT Women's Championship match. Unfortunately, though, we all know your history with the champion Shayna Baszler, so how are you mentally preparing?
Kathy, this has been something I've dreamed about for so long. I mean, I've been watching NXT for years, even before I was here, and the fact I get an opportunity at the NXT Women's Championship next week is just insane to me. At the same time, it's against Shayna Baszler. Someone who I've allowed to get inside my head. The biggest bully I've ever come across just in life.
So that's what you think this is? Your dreams come true, your fairy tale? Oh, what's wrong? You don't have anything to say? You can talk so much when I'm not around? You don't have anything to say when I'm right here in front of you? You know you don't stand a chance, right?
We'll see about that.
Well, a moment of doubt, perhaps, on the face of the champion Shayna Baszler. But one man who can have no doubt is the NXT champion, Aleister Black. And we will hear from the striking man from Amsterdam when he is here live on NXT television next week. Well, it was moments ago on NXT television in the middle of a handicap match that Velveteen Dream would leave his partner handicapped in the center of the ring, unceremoniously ending their tag team alliance and giving Lars Sullivan the opportunity to hit this freak accident right in the center of the ring, hooking the leg and ending the match and any hopes for Ricochet.
Are we going to fall for this again? Is it really Johnny Gargano or that miscreant Tommaso Ciampa playing games again? Oh my God!
Okay.
It's Candice LeRae and oh wow, it is Johnny Gargano. Oh guys.
Gargano looks a little sullen. I know rumors have been swirling around in the last week about what Gargano could have on his mind. I don't know.
Well, we can't read his mind, but man, the body language. I don't think this is good, guys.
Maybe we've seen the last of Johnny Gargano in the ring.
I love you too. The last time I walked out at Full Sail was for an NXT Championship match. But the bell never rang, and I left on a stretcher. Every morning when I wake up and I struggle to get out of bed, my body reminds me of that day. My body reminds me of a knee that smashed my head into that LED board. My body reminds me of being driven off that stage through a table. And I've been doing this basically my whole life, but I sat down with Candace and I realized it's time to start thinking about my future. It's time to start thinking about our future. I need to ask myself, is it worth it? With the injuries adding up and the toll it's taken on my friends, my family, and my wife, is it worth it? You know what? You know what? Yeah, it's worth it. Tommaso Ciampa! I know you're back there. Come out here so we can finish this right now.
Boy, I'm gonna walk to that ring right now, and I swear, if you're still standing there when I get to that ring, I am going to finish this.
Don't listen to her! Johnny, beat him up!
That's it, Johnny, be a good little boy.
Have selective
Be a good little boy, listen to your wife. Bye-bye, Johnny. Bye-bye.
Let's go. We need help. We need help. Stop moving. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Breathing. It's more help. What is this?
She's breathing. She's good. She's breathing. Hey, don't move, okay? Don't move.
Can we get them help? What's going on? Seriously. Get Dr. Moon out here. You okay?
Don't try to get up. Don't try to get up.